Welcome to Before the Bounce for round 17. We've arrived here in Brisbane nice and early so the boys can get some rest before taking off to the Gabba. And while I know you won't want to get your hopes up too much, GWS did lose to Adelaide, St Kilda have lost to West Coast, and our finals hopes are still very much alive. As we take a look at the ladder, we're currently sitting in 10th position, one game outside the 8, but if we can win our 2 games and rely on other results, there's still a big chance that we could make it. What we need is for one of these results to fall our way. Either Collingwood lose both their games to Gold Coast and Port, St Kilda lose to GWS and we make up that margin in percentage, or the Bulldogs go down to either Hawthorn or Fremantle. Our fate is out of our hands, but all we can control is the results on our end, and that starts with beating GWS tonight. And to do so, I think we need to handle the conditions better. We're expecting a little bit of rain. That hurt us last week, but even so, it's going to be dewy at the Gabba. We were pretty poor with the slippery ball last week. We need to be cleaner there. And as I've spoken about recently, we're not laying enough tackles. Fremantle had 96 more disposals than us, so they had possession of the ball for the majority of the game, yet still laid 20 more tackles. So we're really going to have to lift that pressure and that intensity around the ball against GWS, who are the 4th best tackling side in the competition. Moving on to our side, we've made 3 changes, added some experience to the side, and while we've made 17 changes over the past 3 weeks, Simon Goodwin says it's important to build some sort of continuity in this side.
You know, we want to build some cohesion in our team, and we'll make some modifications, but we're going to pick a team that we think we can really trust and go out there and execute their role. We need to build a discipline within the footy club right through, from our leaders all the way through to our youngest players, about how we represent our footy club week after week and build that style of play on the back of great role execution.
Mitch Brown, Charlie Spargo and Nev Jetta are the 3 inclusions. Nev's a good story, hasn't played since round 8, and I'm sure all D's fans will be happy to see him get another crack at senior footy. In terms of the outs, Michael Hibbert is the big blow, hasn't pulled up well with that ankle, so he's going to miss at least 1 week, as will James Harms, who's still got a bit of hamstring tightness. We expect Luke Jackson to possibly be available last week, but Angus Brayshaw and James Jordan have been ruled out for the remainder of the season. As we prepare for this must-win game against the Giants, we caught up with Max Gawn this morning to preview the match ahead. Maxie, obviously the last 2 games haven't gone to plan. How much do they get spoken about when looking ahead to tonight?
Extremely disappointing last 2 weeks of footy. Up there in Cairns, we didn't get what we wanted, and we actually let ourselves down a little bit as well. So ignoring what's going on in the rest of the AFL with what could potentially happen if we win or lose this game, we need to win this game of football and bounce back from the 2 weeks that was really disappointing.
What's the mood been like amongst the boys? Is it hard to stay upbeat since coming back from Cairns?
It could have been, but I thought we've addressed it real early. We sat down Monday, had a really good chat about what went wrong in Cairns, and we basically didn't play as a team, and far from it as well. So we'll try and get back to that, or we will get back to that tonight against a really, really good opposition. So it's going to be a fun game to play.
You talk about trying not to acknowledge the other sides in the competition. Do you talk at all about the fact that the season is still alive?
Oh, it's hard not to, and you do get in conversations where people do talk about it, and it is everywhere. I mean, there's 5 teams pushing for 1 or 2 spots in the 8, but no matter what, this week is about bouncing back for us. It wouldn't matter if we were a finals chance or not, or already cemented our final spot. It's purely based on bouncing back from Cairns and playing our brand of football and playing as a team against the Giants.
There hasn't been a lot of consistency in our 22 in recent weeks. It's a bit more of a senior experience lineup today. You feel like you're really confident it can take it up to GWS?
Yeah, we lost Hibbo, which is a little bit upsetting. He performed really well last week with a bad ankle, so we do lose him. We get Neville back, which is exciting. Neville's played some really good football in the reserves competition up here, if you want to call it that, and he's excited to get back and really bolster up our defence. So, the side has changed around a bit, but that has happened with every team throughout this little footy fanatic little week, whatever it is. So this is our 3rd game in 10 days or whatever. So we had to sort of rotate it around. There's a few tired boys, but looking like a bit more of a stock 22 this week.
Gorney will be playing alongside his close mate Adam Tomlinson tonight, who's up against his former side GWS for the first time. And the Giants have made 8 massive changes for the game. They benefit from the inclusions of Josh Kelly and Zach Williams. They've brought in Shane Mumford to go head-to-head with Max Gawn, but they've made a massive statement in dropping their skipper, Stephen Cornelio. I'm sure a few of our boys will be glad they don't have to go up against him tonight, but they do still have a dangerous midfield. They've got the young guns in Jacob Hopper and Tim Taranto. Matt De Boer's playing his 200th game. He's a tagger, so keep an eye on who he goes head-to-head with tonight. And they've got danger men in all areas of the ground. Toby Green up forward, Nick Haynes down back, but they aren't in the best patch of form. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games, including a 12-point loss to Adelaide, which has kept our season alive. The Crows have really shown us how to shut them down. They had plus 23 inside 50s, which is obviously going to allow them to kick a winning score, but it all started in the centre. O'Brien had a big outing. Adelaide won the hitouts 48-23, and then the Crows midfielders really got to work. They had 10 more clearances, 6 more centre clearances, and they beat GWS in an area where they're really strong at. The Giants are 4th in the comp for clearances. We've struggled in there this year. So if we can win that battle, get the ball forward, gain the territory, and lock it in our forward half, I think that'll go a long way to us winning the game tonight. But then in attack, GWS are dangerous as well. Jeremy Cameron, he is the big threat. He's kicked 8 goals in their past 4 wins, but just 2 goals in their last 3 losses. So it looks like if we can keep him under 2 goals, that could stop GWS, but he does average 2 against us throughout his career. I think Stephen May will get that matchup unless he decides to go to a smaller in Toby Green, but whoever gets it is going to have to keep a close eye on him. A couple of other things to look out for, starting with our uncontested possession. It was really quite poor last week. We had just 98 uncontested possessions to Fremantle's 206. Massive discrepancy. And 23 uncontested marks to 68. So Fremantle basically had control of the ball on the outside for the entire night. That meant when we had the footy, we couldn't really get it into space, which means you're always under pressure, and that showed. We went at just 53% disposal efficiency to Fremantle's 72%. We're 12th in the comp for uncontested possession, so I really think we're going to have to improve in that area against GWS to hurt them at all going forward. The second thing I want to watch is our speed going through the corridor. It's really dropped off in the last few weeks. We haven't taken the game on, we haven't looked for those dangerous kicks inside. This slow ball movement allows the opposition to flood their numbers back in defence. Sydney did it to us, Fremantle did it to us, and it doesn't allow us to get any decent looks on goal. We've really struggled to hit the scoreboard, so if we're going to get back to our dangerous best, we've got to take the game on, like we did against Collingwood last time we played on the Gabba. And the last thing is our first halves. The last 2 weeks, we've managed just 3 goals combined to halftime. That isn't enough. Fremantle led by a goal, as well as kicking 9 behind, so it really didn't hurt us on the scoreboard. Sydney led by 28 points, just about put us out of the game. And against the Giants tonight, if we don't start fast, we're just going to lack in confidence. Although we can chase the side down, I think it's important for the boys to get that belief in themselves. Now, I must mention, it is member thank you round. We're going to be wearing our Proud to Belong Guernsey. So thanks to everyone who donated to have their name on that. And it's very exciting news that our co-principal partner Zurich will be also rejoining for the 2021 season. Thanks very much for watching Before the Bounce. Hopefully we can see a much improved effort from the boys at the Gabba tonight.